Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, The Ritual Flow. My name is Jessica. I read cards, charts, and energy. For today's reading, we are doing a career money reading for the sign of Taurus. If you are a Taurus Sun, Moon, Rising, or Midheaven, then there may be some messages here for you. This is a general reading, so take what resonates, leave what does not. Not everything will resonate with every Taurus. And this is timeless as well. So whenever you're seeing it is when you're meant to. So let me start this off by saying that I already pulled cards for you, Taurus. I already gave you your reading, and something happened and the record button missed getting pressed. But this was a really big message. This ended up being the longest reading I've done so far this week. So I feel like there's some really important messages here for you. So I'm going to lay these same cards back out for whoever needs to see this and go over these messages again as best I can. Maybe even something else will come through, and maybe it won't be as long this time and will be in a little more digestible format for you. So on the first row, we had Justice reversed, the 10 of Pentacles, and Death in reverse. The Emperor, the Queen of Swords, Ace of Wands reversed, 9 of Swords, Wheel of Fortune, 8 of Swords, and the Fool reversed was at the bottom of the deck. So what I pick up from this, Taurus, is that you're feeling an imbalance in your life financially, that you're wanting to build wealth, success, financial stability, but something needs to change in order for you to be able to do that, in order for you to be able to find the stability that you need. As Taurus, as a major point in your chart, stability is like a necessary feeling for you. And you've been having some trouble with your sense of discipline, with creating structure for yourself, with like having a solid foundation for how you're making money. I feel like your financial situation is really inconsistent, whether you are, trying to start your own business, whether you're doing like freelance work, or, even if you're just working part-time somewhere, you aren't getting as many shifts as you'd like to be getting for some reason. And there could be a lot of things going on, but something about the money you're making is like inconsistent and sporadic. And the biggest part of that I'm seeing is because you have a very free spirit of energy. You also thrive on a sense of spontaneity, on being able to be flexible and change your mind, change your direction as soon as you feel that calling. And when you think about creating a strong plan, a strong structure or schedule that feels like controlling and repressive to you, so that takes away your inspiration, your sense of creativity. You maybe feel a bit imprisoned by creating a structure to follow. And this situation is making you really stressed out. You have a lot of anxiety, fears, worries about your financial situation here. Both regarding the inconsistency of the money and also about putting hindrances on your sense of freedom. So I feel like you've been cycling around in this sort of mindset and feeling stuck. Like maybe you'll try to make a plan for yourself, because I feel like you know that this is an issue for you. This is something that's been sort of pulling you back and forth for a while. And like this is sort of a prison of your own making, this cycle, where you're seeing the setting boundaries and being disciplined as restricting, when it could really be a path towards the stability that you seek. And I've gotten the sense that you need to incorporate this need for flexibility, for adaptability, to be able to change and grow with your plan into the plan. I feel like for some of you, you've got strong like air or fire placements in your chart, as well as this Taurus placement. And that's sort of a competing need that is interfering with this establishment of stability in your money. And holding yourself back in this mindset that having a plan isn't going to work for you, doesn't work for you, because you can't be free to create, free to move and think as you need to, that is holding you back. Having a change of perspective is really important here, to understand that making a plan doesn't have to be like chiseling it, carving it into the stone, that you can build flexibility into your plan. You can build space for freedom into a plan that's going to lead you to a lasting financial change and consistency. I get that some of you are afraid of having a plan set in stone. And not just because of it feeling restricting of the freedom, but of also dealing with what to do if that fails. But failing, making mistakes, having plans that don't work out are important learning experiences for us, because then we learn how to make ourselves a better plan. And that's another place where you can incorporate this sort of fiery, changeable element within you, is that rather than getting stuck in these negative thoughts of, I failed, I tried to do a plan and it didn't work, or I gave up on it because it felt too rigid or constricting. you can recognize it and begin to view it as a learning experience instead of a failure, and use that movable energy to pick yourself back up again, to create a new plan, a better plan with the knowledge that you have, and eventually finding something that works for you. Taurus is a very fixed energy, so I understand why you can be stuck in that mindset of, well, the plan didn't work, so it's a failure, end of story. And why you can be stuck in a mindset of rules and boundaries and creating a schedule are, restrictive, and that's all they are. But nothing is only one thing in this life. Everything has multiple facets, multiple perspectives that it can be viewed within. And that's something that's important for you to do here. Spirit wants you to take a leap of faith about this internal transformation of your mindset, to work on finding structures and a path of discipline for yourself that works for you. It's not going to look like someone else's plan or some traditional view of structure necessarily. It will look different for you because you need to feel inspired. You need to feel flexible just as much as you need to feel stable, based on whatever your energy is. I'm very curious, like, what's in everybody's charts. If you know them, please comment down below what your other placements are if you'd like. Let's see here. We also got these oracle cards that came out. Those 3 came out, and fire was at the bottom of the deck. So this friendship card tells me that there's someone connected with you in your life that can maybe help you gain a different perspective on this, because you know that this is a problem for you. And knowing that hasn't really been helping you. Like, you've been stuck in this mindset, stuck in your ways of believing things are a certain way, and it's keeping you from achieving the financial success that you truly desire. And some friend, either that you know or that you're going to encounter in some way, like, has a certain message to share with you, some information to share with you that's going to help loosen this cycle, get you out of this perspective a bit, and help you see a way to merge your sense of discipline and spontaneity. This may be someone that you already know. This may be someone that you're going to meet. I got a message that for many of you, this person could have a significant Sagittarius placement in their chart. And again, with the fire here, whether that's you having fire or this person being fire, or both of you really could. And that may be like that connection of you both having fire elements in your astrology could be a helpful factor in them, like, understanding where you're coming from with your need to be free, and like just like jumping into things and going and changing your mind a little bit changing your actions when you feel called by spirit to, which really is a hard energy to deal with when you're needing to stay disciplined and follow a plan, a path, a structure, a schedule to see the concrete results that you want to see with your money. And this is someone that you're going to cross paths with in some way. If it's not someone you've met already yet, you may be signaled that this is the person that has some information for you by finding out they're a Sagittarius or have that placement, or by like seeing arrows somewhere around them, around you, wherever you're at, somewhere in the environment. Maybe on some jewelry I'm seeing that they may be wearing. But you have a sense of protection around you. When you take this leap of faith and use this knowledge to try a different path and stick to it, the divine is helping you along the way. This person is helping you, and this is a protected, not event, but sort of like journey that you're going on, that you're moving through with this energy. We also pulled this other oracle deck. We had daily practice come out first, keep going, and pay attention to your dreams was at the bottom. So it's really important, like I mentioned before, if the first plan or pathway or method that you try doesn't work for you, it's important to keep going, to use that knowledge, start again, commit to trying something new. And for many of you, you need to start small with making a daily practice to introduce a greater sense of discipline and structure into your life in a simple, I'm not sure what the word, like non-scary, it's like not a big deal type of way. Something that's not as big and important as your financial goals, as the money you're making to support yourself. But, just taking like 5 minutes in the morning or in the evening to meditate, or if meditating is something that's difficult for you, just having a breathing practice, just sitting and feeling and listening and noticing your breath for 5 minutes where you're not worrying or thinking about anything else, and commit yourself to doing that every day. Start with like the first week. And then when you get through that week, do it for a month. And then see how you feel after that from there. Likely that will feel good and you will want to continue that practice. And it will also bring into your life a sense of being able to do that on a larger scale in some way. And adding flexibility into that practice is important, because if you decide, I'm going to do this every morning, and then something comes up and, you're late for work, or the kid is late for school, or whatever, you have an emergency of some sort, and you're not able to do your practice at the same time that you normally do, that can be really derailing. You can feel like failing, so, or giving up, but you've got to keep going. And that's where you put the flexibility in. If you're not able to do it in the morning, maybe you do it at lunch that day. Maybe you do it later in the evening. Even if it's just the last thing you do right before you lay down to go to bed, then allow yourself to commit to carving out that time and doing it for yourself at some point within each day. Doesn't have to be the same time each day. You can adjust it to what works for you. Just be intentional intentional about creating that space for committing to something consistently. And over time, your ability to and appreciation for doing that will grow. And you'll be able to incorporate that on a larger scale, and that stability will begin to manifest itself in like the form of the money that you're wanting to see and with the work that you're doing. You'll feel more consistent in your ability to do your work, to accept more hours at your job, or whatever's relevant to your situation, however that works. And when you have more consistency in your actions, you'll have more consistency in the energy exchange that you receive back from it, which would be your money. And we also finally had this pay attention to your dreams. What I got from that was you can be receiving guidance while you sleep from divine entities, and a message specifically for certain people. This person that is going to be able to offer some deeper insight to what might work specifically for you to create some structure that you can live with, that you don't feel restrained by, that actually feels like it gives you life instead of takes it away. This may be someone that you're crossing paths with in your dreams. We are connected to each other on so many levels. The physical realm is just one of them. There's many other layers to reality that we can interact with. And when you are in your dreams, your spirit is connecting on higher levels with other spirits, and you may receive those messages, those signs and signals on that plane instead of this physical one. So, that was that. I got all the same messages to you and saved you about 7 or 8 minutes of time listening to receive them. So if this did resonate with you, please give it a like, comment down below, let me know a little bit about what's going on with you specifically. Like I said, I am curious about what your other placements are besides Taurus, what's going on here with you energetically, other than what I see in the cards. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I hope to see you at your reading next week. Bye, Taurus.